Well, the only way to know is to pick several different values for the number of games we play, and to figure out how much is it going to cost per each game we play. Okay, so let's just say we play one game. So we're going to replace the number of games G with 1. So if I just played one game, I'm going to pay $3 for that game plus $5 for the shoes. Okay, so what knowing the rules without a calculator, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide positive and negative numbers. Okay, so what is 20 plus 8 equal? 28 does not equal 12. So this is the solution does not check. Okay, it totally depends on the use of calculators in the future totally depends on the teacher, and then also on the ACT and the SAT tests. There's portions of those standardized tests where calculators are not allowed. And this would be a prime example of something that you would be expected to do without a calculator. Okay, so it's very important that you know those rules. As far as my final exam goes, there's probably going to be portions of it where I allow you to use a calculator, and there's going to be portions where I do not allow you to use a calculator. Okay, so on the stuff that I've let you use a calculator on all year, then yes, you will be able to use a calculator. But on some of this stuff that I need to make sure that you know without a calculator, you've got, like, this is something that you've got to know how to do without a calculator. You definitely need to know that when you are subtracting a negative number, that's the same thing as adding a positive number. Okay? Now, so we would say the ordered pair is not a solution. Okay? And, okay, we're going to go down to example 3. So this is kind of another, you'll see this under homework too. t-chart. And the first number is x, and the second number is y. So it says 4 solutions. So I'm going to pick 4 numbers. I really don't care to work with negative numbers right now. So I'm just going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, just 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to solve this equation 4 times. Each time I'm going to substitute a different number for x. So the first time I solve it, I'm going to replace x with 0. What's 0 times anything? 0. What's 0 plus 11? 11. So that means, and here's how I write it as an ordered pair. I just put 2 parentheses. There's an ordered pair, that's a solution. Okay, the next number I'm going to substitute is 1. So when I replace x with 1, what is negative 5 times 1? Negative 5. And then what's negative 5 plus 11? 6. Okay, so when I replace x with 1, y is 6. Now the next number I'm going to use is what? 2. What is negative 5 times 2? Negative 10. What's negative 10 plus 11? 1. So when I replace x with 2, y is 1. Now do you see a pattern here between these numbers? They're going down what? 5. They're going down 5. Okay? Now, when I replace x with 3, what is negative 5 times 3? Negative 15, and then negative 15 plus 11 is negative 4. Okay? There are your 4 solutions to that equation. Yes?
How do we, like, on number 4, that we're not going to order, how do we put it?
Okay, so we got to put, is this one in function form? No. Okay, so we have to put it in function form. Now, how do we put it in function form? We have to get y by itself, not x, y. So you ask yourself, what's being done to y? Okay, is this positive 18x or negative 18x? Positive. Okay, so that means 18x is being added to it. If I want to bring the 18x over to this side of the equal sign, what do I have to do? Subtract it. Now, can I subtract 9 and 18x? No, because they aren't like terms. I cannot add and subtract terms that are not alike. Okay, so now I've eliminated this. What is really important to bring down here is the whole thing, because that's negative 3y. That's going to equal 9 minus 18x. Am I done? No, what do I have to do now?
Is that a subtraction sign or a negative?
It's a negative sign. I've got to get y by itself. What's being done to y? It's being multiplied by what? Negative 3. The opposite of multiplying by negative 3 is dividing by negative 3. Now be careful here. These cancel and I'm left with y equals. But I've got to divide each term by negative 3. Positive 9 divided by negative 3 is what? Is negative 3. A positive divided by negative is always negative. Now look, this is a negative 18x. Divided by negative 3 is going to be what? Positive 6. Positive 6 what? X. Yeah, can't drop that. Okay, so now is this in function form? Yes. Okay, so from here, I'm going to make my t-chart. I'm going to go just like this, x and y. Now, guess what 4 numbers I'm going to pick? 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, 0 is super easy. When I replace x with 0, what's 0 times anything? 0. What's negative 3 plus 0? Negative 3. And there's my first little ordered pair. Now I'm going to replace x with 1. What's 6 times 1? 6. What's 6 plus negative 3? Positive 3. Yep. Okay, and you're fixing to see a pattern here. Okay, now I'm going to replace x with 2. What's 6 times 2? 12. What's 12 plus negative 3? 9. What's 18 plus negative 3? 15. Okay? What do you notice? It's going up by 6. Okay, so can I predict the next several ones? Yeah. Okay, and so there's your answer. Okay, so first function form, then T-chart. Okay, and I understand that this is very new. We haven't done anything like this. Okay, so please don't try to do this without the help of your notes. Okay, because whatever you get finished in class today is going to be pretty fresh on your mind. But when you go home and try to do this, you may not remember. So don't hesitate. You've got to look at your notes, or you've got to go back and fast forward and rewind to this point in the video, and that'll help jog your memory. Okay, so make sure, because it's just a lot of new material, and there's no way for your brain to remember all of it as time goes on. So that's what the notes are for, and that's what the video is for. Okay, for the homework, look at practice A. Okay, so I gave you practice A, right? Okay, so what I want you guys to do is 1 through, let's do 1 through 16. 1 through 16. Now, you'll notice on number 15, that's a fraction. Okay, so what you would need to do, it says list 4 solutions. You need to pick multiples of 5. I mean, pick 0, that's really easy. And then I would go, the other 3 numbers I would pick would be 5, 10, and 15. Because 1/5 of 5 is what? Just 1. And then 10, 1/5 of 10 is 2. And then 15, 1/5 of 15 is 3. Okay, so when the ones that have fractions, you look at the denominator and you pick multiples of whatever the denominator is. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 are put the equation in function form, just like what we did at first here. And then 4, 5, and 6 is just completing that T-chart by substituting.